Hey, welcome to Section 2, Prompt Engineering and Advanced Techniques of ChatGPT 101. The first one I'll be diving into is drafting the perfect prompt, and then following along with our The Art of the Follow-Up lecture, among some other more specific examples and keywords and phrases that you can use to be able to further improve your outputs with ChatGPT. So starting with drafting the perfect prompt from scratch. As I've mentioned earlier, a high quality prompt leads to a higher quality output. So the more information and context and instructions you can provide ChatGPT, the better these outputs and responses are going to be, because it has everything it needs to achieve exactly the goal that you were looking to fulfill. So prompt structure. I've come up with some example templates for different purposes, but as a whole, this is what I believe to be one of the best ways to structure prompts if you're looking to achieve certain outcomes. Firstly, we're going to go through a template without context. So you haven't provided a bit of context for ChatGPT to review. For example, review this email and then do X. These are simply copy and paste into ChatGPT to generate maybe ideas or a paragraph or some bit of copywriting to help you fulfill that specific task. So we've got the first one here, which is the template itself without context or any kind of primer. Firstly, I think it really helps to frame what ChatGPT needs to embody prior to requesting whatever it is you need from it. It's almost like putting a person into this mindset and taking on this role for varying domain experts. And I'll go into some examples in lecture 4, but it's like asking it to take on the persona of a sales expert, so that if you were requesting this output from a sales expert, it has context of why you're requesting that output, because it's a sales expert, and it will take on that persona when trying to figure out the best way to present that to you. Secondly, it helps to have a verb that then positions the task and what you're looking to achieve with it. And I've got a large library of verbs that we can utilize. But this basic example here, help me draft. You could say generate 20 ideas. And the verb can also be a short statement. So fairly straightforward, but it does help to see the examples of potential verbs. And again, I'll go through that in lecture 6. Optional is suggesting some kind of output or length for the prompt you're looking to, the output you're looking to achieve. For example, 20 ideas in a list. And that helps give you, helps ChatGPT understand exactly what it is in terms of how the output needs to look based on that input. Then the task and objective. So what are you looking to achieve as an outcome? Email subject lines related to my CRM software product that will help make the reader want to click on the email. Fairly straightforward. Secondly, the output should include relevant, and this is again optional, data and resources. So I've said here the output should include relevant industry language and statistics. Lastly, we have the writing style and where or who this writing needs to be targeted towards. And again, both of these are optional. So you can essentially just use this without specifying output and length. For example, help me generate ideas for email subject lines. But if you want to get a better output that's more specific and targeted towards an audience with a certain tone of voice, then going the full template is going to help improve those outputs. So we have tone of voice. For example, the writing style is witty and charming. and then the audience are marketing professionals, so targeted towards this specific audience. And based on this prompt, we have the example output. Not in here, but let's just paste it in and see what we generate. So immediately it's gone straight into the list. Rev up your sales with our CRM software. Statistics show it increases productivity by 30%. Stop the data chaos. That's a little bit witty. Are you losing potential customers? So it's not bad. And again, follow-up prompts, which is lecture 2, is the power of then further augmenting that response and getting it closer to what you're looking to achieve. But you can see how this prompt has framed everything that ChatGPT needs to know in order to achieve the outcome that you're looking to achieve. So advanced prompts, including context and some kind of primer. This just means you have some relevant data and information you want to feed it first, and then it can analyze that, feed it after the prompt, because I've got review the below as an example there. And then you take all of the other inputs to then specify what it needs to do with that context. So I won't go through these, but here we've got take on the persona of an expert LinkedIn copywriter, help me draft a 200-word max high-quality LinkedIn bio that will encourage more people to connect with me. The output should include relevant information from my professional experience. The writing style is professional but approachable, targeted towards professionals on LinkedIn. It should include the following dot points. I believe I've got the example output there. So it's added a bit of context to why it's generating this, because it's taken on this persona. Hi there, as a LinkedIn copywriter, as an expert LinkedIn copywriter, I'm here to help you draft a high-quality LinkedIn bio that will encourage more people to connect with you. Here's a draft for you, and it's made that draft. So detailing some of those definitions, which I've kind of gone through, but very quickly, context and primer, as I mentioned, is the relevant context to improve that output accuracy, and we'll go over that in detail in the next couple of lectures. Expert persona, taking on a relevant persona like a sales coach, venture capitalist, and so on. An initial verb: find, improve, develop, plan, research, compare. You get the point, and I'll go through that shortly. Length and output type. For example, a list of 20x, a 300-word report, a short article, a dot point summary, so on and so forth. Specific task and objective, so what you're looking to achieve, what's the objective, and pasting that in within that template. For example, generate a variety of LinkedIn social media posts on the topic of industry trend that could be used to engage and connect with our audience on the platform, so on and so forth. Tone of voice. The prompt should reflect the desired tone, voice, and style of the output. For example, formal or informal, serious or humorous, technical or layman. Target audience. Who are you looking to target in terms of demographics, psychographics, interests, or cultural considerations? Maybe it's a group from a specific religious background, and it needs to understand that in order to draft the copy in a particular way. Data and references. So in one of the previous lectures, getting credible sources, templates, research studies, specific information, content from a blog, website, YouTube video, etc. Other considerations. Follow-up prompts. So utilizing follow-up prompts, and we'll go through that soon. The purpose or goal of the prompt, so making sure there's some kind of purpose. Maybe you can add this is to persuade or this is to inform. Difficulty, the perceived difficulty of the prompt. So maybe you want to also add this will be quite challenging to generate, but give it your best shot based on the information that you have. Subject matter, adding some detail around the topic that this is related to. Keywords, do you need to include any specific terms or concepts, and ensuring that ChatGPT is understanding, what some of the terminology is within the prompt you're providing. Like maybe the terminology that ChatGPT will have in terms of a definition will be different to your definition, so also providing that definition. Inputting related sources, so links or any statistics. You might say, use the 7 dot points below for your references and statistics when writing this email. Suggested sources, any suggested sources that might be helpful in responding to the prompt. So providing it again, links it can go through to then utilize information from that link for the output. Any additional notes or comments about the prompt that you may want to add to further specify the response. If you need to add who created the response and having that included in the output, you can also do that. And then also providing context as to like the status of the prompt. Is this a draft? Is this to be the final version? It will help ChatGPT create something that is reflective of what stage in the process that this output is related to. So this was a bit of a longer lecture, but hope that helps in understanding how to draft and script the perfect prompt from scratch. See you in the next lecture. Bye.